Thank you so much, guys. Now we go through the brain, okay? And like the first order of business is to identify the external structures, okay? Um, so, um, if I say what is that lobe of the brain, what would you say? Parietal. If I say what's the lobe of that brain, what do you say? Occipital. If I say what's this lobe of the brain, what do you say? So I'll just put a pin there. And then if I say what's this lobe of the brain? Frontal. Okay, excellent. Then another time I might put a sticker over here and I'm talking about what's that bump? Yes, gyrus. And then if I put a sticker on this line and I'm talking about what is that line? Or crack or whatever, but I'll use line most of the time. What's that? Sulcus. Excellent. And then what is this line here in the middle that goes along the cerebrum right there in the center? Longitudinal fissure. Okay, a fissure is a more deeper crack than a sulcus. A sulcus is a shallower crack. Okay, a fissure is a deeper one. Okay, so that's the difference between the sulcus and the fissure. Okay, all right. So the falx cerebri runs along the longitudinal fissure, separating the left and right cerebrum. Then the tentorium cerebelli is cranial jural folds, okay, cranial jural septa. Tentorium cerebelli runs in this location here, separating the cerebrum from the cerebellum. Okay, all right. And then I might say, what is the structure that joins the left and right cerebellar hemispheres? What is the structure called? The vermis. Yes, excellent. All right. And then after we are done with all that structures, we gotta do the cranial nerves. Okay. Okay. There you go. So here will be what cranial nerve is on the front here. Olfactory number 1. Excellent. Okay. Our optic got really messed up. But anyway, there's this stamp right here. What is that? Optic. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna know which one is which. Mine I know it because mine is coming off, you see? That's why mine is crazy. Anyway, crap, it's slippery too. But here, this one you could see the optic chiasm. You see that? Okay? So I just switched brains, okay, just so that I could show you the cranial nerves. Okay? The optic number 2. Yes. And then this stump facing forward. See this stump right here. What's that? Oculomotor, yes. Number 3. I like that they're in order here. You can see the olfactory bulb right here. Okay, so you just say olfactory number 1, optic number 2. You can see the optic chiasm. Oculomotor number 3. Number 3. And then this one right here in the back, this stump is the starts with a T. Trigeminal number 5. Trigeminal number 5. This may be the remnants of the vestibulocochlear number 8, but usually most of them never have anything there, but definitely trigeminal number 5, that comes in the exam. And then I said, if I go to the last part of the brain here, which is the medulla, and I'm talking about what is that cranial nerve over there, what would you say? Hypoglossal number 12, even if you can't see nothing, okay, my good friends? Because, you know, they usually just sort of cut these off. Then we are done with the outside structures. I switch brains again. I get Margarita's brain. Okay. And then right here, I hope it comes out nicely over here. We do the internal structures, and you could see right there is the medulla oblongata. There's the pons right there, and then the midbrain right there, together with the cerebral peduncles that join the cerebellum to the upper parts of the brain. Okay. Okay, and this squiggle right here, what squiggle is this? This sort of white part, It's got 4 structures in it. What did we call it? Yeah, corpora quadrigemina. This one you should know it because it's got this sort of funny sounding word, corpora quadrigemina. So remember that, okay? And then on top of the corpora quadrigemina is this sort of a little bit more pink, sort of brownish nucleus. What's that? Anterior colliculus. Anterior colliculus. This. Okay? The corpora quadrigemina surrounds this sort of canal. We see this is nice and smooth right here. What is this? It joins this ventricle, which is the 3rd ventricle, to the 4th ventricle, which is this. So what is this sort of canal here? Oh, the cerebral aqueduct. Okay? Carries cerebrospinal fluid from the 3rd ventricle right here to the 4th ventricle over here under the cerebellum. So this secular nucleus is the thalamus. Under it is the hypothalamus. Okay? Right on top of the thalamus is this sort of white structure is the, starts with an F, fornication, phonics. Okay? So you can use that word to make you remember that. Phonics. And then on the top here is this white structure here that I say joins the cerebral hemispheres, which is the, starts with a C, corpus callosum. Yes, corpus callosum. Okay? If I was to say, what is that chamber of the brain, what would you say? Right here? Lateral ventricle, because it's Monday today. Yeah, you're kind of out of it. Oh, weekend was too good. You don't want to extricate yourself from the weekend. I know how it is, guys. I'm sorry. We gotta do this though. So lateral ventricle, okay? Lateral ventricle. And then sometimes I will say, what is that thin structure that separates the major chambers of the brain? Septum pellucidum. Yes, thank you. Septum pellucidum. Exactly. Now, my brain has the you can see this little round dot right here where the anterior commissure is located. Okay, anterior commissure. Okay, and this is the pineal body, right? This is our anterior colliculus on this brain, and then this is the corpora quadrigemina, and then the cerebral aqueduct right here. Okay. This one, I don't know if it has this nicely as this one does. Yes. So we go back to this one. So this is the pineal body, and this sort of vertical line is the posterior commissure. Yes. And this is the corpora quadrigemina. There is the anterior colliculus. Okay. There is the thalamus, hypothalamus, 3rd ventricle, and you can see the choroid plexus, the blood vessels that produce the cerebrospinal fluid. In there, we're gonna put them back. Okay, we're gonna put them right back in there. Okay, and then there's the 3rd ventricle, lateral ventricle. Okay, and that's all the structures. And then you can see the optic chiasm right here. Okay, there you go. And we can finish it up. We can close it up, make it